for all the talk of Magomed Ankalaev's chances of cutting the line to the title with a big win here over Anthony Smith at light heavyweight, how strong is the case for Anthony Smith if he scored a 4th consecutive stoppage win?
When you say how strong is the case, you mean for a title?
To cut Jan Blachowicz and Glover Teixeira atop the very crowded title picture with Prochazka on top right now. To who gets next?
Realistically speaking, even with a stoppage win here, I don't know if he gets it. In part because while I believe that Smith is well-liked by management, and I do believe well-liked by the fans in general, there is just always, it seems to me, lingering doubt about him in one way or the other. And you could say, well, 4 stoppage wins in a row, certainly that would be great. And of course, Devin Clark, Jimmy Crute, and Ryan Spann, those are great fighters. Magomed Ankalaev, I think, is better than all 3 of them. And so it would be a triumphant win in that sense. It would be the best of the 4 to cap off a 4-fight run in that way. Nevertheless, Blachowicz held a title, and I think folks think a second shot, well, not with Glover, but a second opportunity to get back there against the existing champion, Yuri Prochazka, could produce not only fireworks, but this is a guy who's already been at the top. Why not try it again? Or in the case of Glover, he had the most incredible fight, maybe, not ever, but certainly one of the more memorable ones you're going to see against Prochazka. Maybe he should be that guy. Is a win over Ankalaev, given how Smith is viewed, even if that win is spectacular, is there enough there to have him, in the eyes of the fans or management or both, make a case to leapfrog those guys? I think it would have to be the most spectacular of wins. And even then, I would be somewhat skeptical, in part because, BC, there's a bit of the bottleneck up there about how they're going to resolve it. Plus, the last loss, I believe, that Smith has prior to the run was against Rakic. Rakic has to come back after having that injury in his last contest. I think folks will want to see him beat somebody like that, like get over a hump that you previously couldn't. Just one more. You might be like, oh, well, that's unfair. Guys get title shots off 4-5 win streaks. But he already had a title shot. So
You're
to
right.
get another one, it would be a lot he had to do.
It is unfair, but it's the truth. It's where we're at, unfortunately, Luke. And by the way, did you see Rakic publicly accused what's his name?
Manawa.
Jimmy Manawa of sucker punching him at UFC London, and Manawa claims it was leftover trash talk between them from the fight that knocked out and retired Manawa. That's a little bit interesting, Luke. I don't know, maybe it's Manawa trying to get a fight. Maybe he's trying to get another big payday here, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, apparently you can just hit people in society that say things you don't like. I guess that's a thing we're doing now. I mean, I watched the fight. Like, Manawa got hit with a vicious head kick and got dropped badly. It was a terrible loss. Manawa was a great striker. He had a very good career. But I just don't understand this whole thing like, oh, if you say things on Twitter, you'll get slapped. I realize that's the real world. Like, people can do that. But it's like, if you're doing that, that's just an L in so many
You know who didn't do that to me, Luke? Anthony Smith, when he called me out at the World MMA Awards. And, he had a point, Luke. Okay? He had a point.
He certainly did. Now, he spoke to our friend Shaq, the Prince of Persia, about this upcoming fight. He was asked to, give us your assessment about Magomed Ankalaev. How good is he? What do you think? Here's what he told him.
I don't think he's the most dangerous. I don't think he's the most dangerous guy in the division at all. He's absolutely not the scariest, for me at least. He is very, very skilled, and he's very, very technical. He's hard to beat, but that's not necessarily scary, if that makes any sense. He doesn't do a whole lot, so he doesn't leave a lot of opportunities to make mistakes, there's not a lot of opportunities to take advantage, because he stays very much within himself. So he's hard to drag out of the way. He wants to fight one certain way, and it's hard to get out of that. So if there's anybody in the division that can make someone fight the way that they don't want to, it's me. So I'm really excited for it. I got a lot of respect for that guy.
Could you tell which one was the pro fighter?
Oh, wow. That was during our Vegas trip, Luke. And, Shaq had been through it like we are, Luke. That place will kill you, okay?
And then last but not least, I didn't know this was coming. I've not seen this, so this would be interesting. I guess Smith, one more time, was asked about us. Let's hear what he had to say.
Luke Thomas. Shout out to my colleague at CBS Sports.
I love Luke, man. I always have. He is so analytical. There's times where, sometimes I'll, try to look for a new twist or a new way to look at a fight. And sometimes I'll go to Luke, like I'll go to his stuff and like, what does Luke say about this guy? And sometimes it'll put me on a different path. So if I'm trying to break a fight down, like, everyone can do the regular, oh, he's got a good right hand or he's got a good kick. But sometimes Luke puts a little twist on it, and then it will fire something in my brain that will get me onto another path. So I actually use Luke for motivation.
Oh, you know he's going to smile hearing that. Brian Campbell.
I don't know why he hates me.
Okay, do you want me to explain it to you? Because I know.
I think I've heard it.
No. Yeah, it's not. Luke really respects you.
Yeah, because Luke
and
is
his
so
whole life
and
comes.
Brian's like, why are you always riding his ass all the time?
Yeah,
like,
it's really. Brian, stop it. No, I promise you he has no issue with you.
I love fucking with him when I see him.
No, you should.
Because I know he
as
doesn't
you
have
should.
any serious issue.
No. You should go on room service Iries. They've got a thing. They've got like a.
Totally wrong.
I don't know if you've seen it. They have like a ugly ass casting couch. It looks really shady.
Max was just on it, right?
Who was on it? I know they done one with Glover. They've done one with Michael Chiesa. That's not out yet. They did one with Josh Emmett came out today.
Yeah, I have seen.
Yeah, you should do it. And lots of room to strangle Brian.
Yeah, I would too.
All right, now let me pull.
Wow, Luke. First I'm like, hey, Shaq, can we keep this kayfabe here? You don't have to expose the little man behind the curtain. But then he was out there recruiting for us, Luke.
That was nicely done. I mean, he also talked over Smith for like 45 seconds of that clip, so that wasn't great. But
that's also on par for MK right there. But yeah, Luke, this would be the biggest win of Anthony Smith's career. I'm cheering for him, Luke. Okay, he's Factory Town MMA approved. Let's see if he can crash that party, Luke.
It's a tough fight. And he is a heavy underdog, by the way. I was looking at the odds today. Let's see. So they've got him, just to wrap this up, the conversation up very quickly. They've got Smith. Oh, Jesus, Lord have mercy. They've got Smith at a plus 400, Ankalaev at minus 550. I understand Ankalaev being the favorite. He's only got the one loss to Paul Craig, and that was kind of like a little fluky in the end of the third round and whatnot. But yeah, it's a little high if you ask me.